We started Amigos of Honduras in 2005. That was when we were able to get our 501c3 and our nonprofit status. So we've been going at it 10 years.
I became familiar with Amigos of Honduras probably about 10 years ago, and was really impressed with Dave's organization and the good he's trying to do here in Honduras.
I've been part of Amigos of Honduras for roughly 10 years now.
When Dave originally started, he'd gone down with some guys with Pro Image, and we just slowly got associated with it and started coming down with him. And so my involvement was simple contributions at that point and offering time and help whenever we could.
I've been involved with Amigos for about 5 years.
It's the first time I've been able to come down here. It's been difficult in the past for me to get away, and I'm really so thrilled that I did.
Dave went down there about 45 years ago on his mission and decided then that if he ever had the wherewithal to go back and help, that he would, and that's why we're there.
The mission of Amigos is water projects to change people's lives.
We do projects that are long-lasting. We do projects that are self-sufficient, and as important as anything, we do projects that involve those that are helped to have skin in the game. They do all the work.
We've completed 26 actual major water projects that have brought water to a village. We've done lots of other kind of mini projects, bathrooms, school roofs, and even 3 schools.
I personally like it because it's the start of everything. It's something that I know I definitely take for granted when I'm at home.
We are a spoiled people.
We power wash our driveways. We let hoses run forever. We fill swimming pools with it. We wash our cars. We let the showers run.
And just such a simple thing that we take for granted in our lives of having clean, fresh water that these people don't have.
It changes their whole entire lives. It's like the biggest thing in the world you could ever give to them.
Water is such an impactful thing. It is, the source of life.
To come here and to see how much water changes lives and starts everything to then, once they have water, it leads to education. It leads to then ways to be industrious, to create money and a better life for those people.
We found that without water, villages suffer enormously because if they don't have water, they have to spend their day, the women and the children, they have to spend their day with buckets gathering it from some source. Often this takes them 2.5, 3 hours each way to find a bucket of water, especially during the dry season. So by getting water that's treated, potable water, they're able to not only have what they need for drinking and bathing and washing their clothes and washing their dishes. It starts to eliminate disease, but it also gives the children a chance to go to school because they're not spending their day gathering water. And so we've seen dramatic differences in the villages where we've gone to and done a water project.
I don't know if it's the biggest change that I've seen, but Oki is definitely one of the first, well, it is the first community that we dealt with, but for me, one of the neatest experiences was after they had inaugurated the water project and we celebrated that. 6 months later, we came back down, and for me to see a bottle of shampoo and soap by their water pila was so cool for me, just because that all of a sudden it changed.
It's been interesting because we go back every 6 months to the village where we first did our water project, the very first one called Laoki. And we've seen a dramatic difference in the health, the hygiene, and just the way people are. They're happy, they're smiling, they're clean, they have much less disease.
To see pictures of kids then that were clean, struggling with sickness, dysentery, to now they were cleaner, they were going to school, to me it was just so life-changing.
And now they're growing fruits and vegetables, so they're being self-sufficient, which is part of the mission statement.
Ellos han obtenido una mejor vida desde que Amigos de Honduras vino aquí, porque con el proyecto de agua, pues ahora no toman agua contaminada, toman agua limpia.
The health of the entire village is is noticeably different.
If you looked at Oki from 2005 to 2016, the improvement is visible. People are cleaner, they're healthier. There's a school right there now that they can go to every day. It's amazing. It's life-changing.
A special story for me is this last trip that we just came back from. There's a kid that we nicknamed Pineco. His real name's Samuel. Well, 10 years later, he's now in college. He got to go up to the village with us, and he helped us hand out the gifts that were brought, and the hygiene kits, and the bars of soap, and the hats, and things of that nature. It was just fun to see the transition from where he was 10 years ago to where he is now, and see the transition of the village. You get to see the long-term effects. I've witnessed it.
Typically what we do is go in, do a water project, and then move on. But we wanted to take this one village and continue to develop it. So it now has a kindergarten, a grade school, but also coffee.
Y entonces al terminar el proyecto de agua, pues siguió con la escuela, siempre con la ayuda de ella y Amigos de Honduras. Después los reunimos y hicimos una solicitud porque miramos del proyecto de café que podía dar.
We provided individual plants for 40 of the families, and they've been cultivating and growing and turning that into their first cash crop. This is the fourth year that they've had the coffee. They're about ready to harvest the coffee for this year and sell it at the market. Having the ability to sell something like coffee gives them a completely different life, to be able to have some money for some things that they need, such as clothes, that kind of thing. Because as subsistence farmers, they grow beans and corn and live on that. They've never been able to afford coffee.
Creo que nosotros hemos sido bendecidos porque aquí vinieron ellos primero.
The big project that we're working on now in Comayagua is in Las Anonas. It's a village that we've been going to for the last 2 or 3 years. Because their water source is almost 30 miles away, the problem now is they're using natural wells, but they're also washing their clothes in it.
We actually hiked down to their water source that's in their village, and it was amazing to see there was a lady actually in the spring washing her clothes, and pigs were running through it.
And then people were coming with buckets to get that water. So that's a bad situation.
Aquí tenemos muchas dificultades con el agua. Usted ahorita mira esta agua, pero esta agua solo es cuando llueve. En el verano no existe agua aquí. Tenemos muchas dificultades.
There was no chance to do a line there, which is typically what we do. We do a line because it's easy, it's gravity. It doesn't take a whole bunch of engineering, though it takes a lot of work.
Wells are not ideal for us, but there was really no other hope for them. No one was ever going to provide them water.
The biggest reason, they don't have electricity up in mountain villages. This mountain village required a well, and so we told them if they could get electricity up to their village, then we could provide the equipment to dig a well. Well, 6 months ago they got that electricity, and so we've been digging a well ever since, just by mashing. It's the mashing method where you go down and mash the rock, and it goes 2, maybe 3 feet a day. They need to get down to 300, 350 feet, and then they'll have a great water source permanently.
You know, it's really neat to see us impact a village of probably over 1,000 people, maybe 2,000 people, and this is the only chance they would ever have to get water.
When we look for a village, we look, one, that the village is excited that they want to do it, that they're willing to do all the work, because they do all the manual labor. This village is called El Junco. They've been waiting for water for many generations. They've never had it.
¿Nunca han tenido un
Solo la lluvia. Nunca han tenido agua. Agua potable.
Interesting. They were waiting for us all in their seats, men, women, children, attentive, just the way we like it. They were full of enthusiasm. It's going to be a good project. There's over 100 families there, and their water source is only 5 kilometers away. Typically, our average is probably double that. And so, after we finish our project in Las Anonas, then we'll start that one.
Nuestro sueño, ahora estamos alegres, hombres, niños y mujeres. Gracias a los cooperantes que con amor ayudaron, a los amigos de Honduras que nunca olvidaremos.
This project was the biggest one in scope that we've ever done. It benefited 8 communities.
Affected over 5,000 people, and they had clean water with a faucet. It was just mind-blowing.
There were hundreds, if not 1,000 people there to greet us, to celebrate.
See them opening the water faucet and the water coming out, and they all seemed to be really grateful. And
It's a true celebration. I mean, you have people coming up to you that are 5 years old to 70, it seems, and they are just grateful for the change that you've made for them, their families.
Just a wonderful opportunity to interact with the people that we were able to help.
I've seen very old people washing their hands for the first time, opening a faucet for the first time, and it's powerful.
I think another really cool thing was to see the men that volunteered their time. There's over 450 men that actually worked in this mountainous region.
Just incredible. We got to hike the line beforehand.
And the work, I mean, just us walking and hiking the area where they did the water was very steep. And
we hiked for about 3 hours looking at the line. It goes over, they have bridges, it goes up over through peaks and valleys and across rivers.
Mountainous terrain, a lot of trees, and these guys were carrying pipes on their backs and cement to this area, and we were struggling just carrying our backpacks.
It was a great big pipe, 4-inch line, and so it's much more expensive than what we normally use. But because it benefits so many people, we were able to justify funding it.
Their willingness to work and be part of the program to bring the water to the village was really great to see.
And then the inauguration was something that we've never seen. The TV people that were there estimated that there were 1,500 people there. We had tons of gifts to give out.
Las niñas de 12 años para abajo, o sea, de 1 a 12, en el carro azul.
But there were 200 children in line, 200 boys, then 200 girls, and maybe 200 men, 200 women, all waiting in line for these gifts. And it turned out to be a crazy party. They had dancing for us, and accordion players, and marimba bands, some speeches.
Estamos alegres de tener 7 pulgadas de agua.
Este proyecto que muy contentos, ¿verdad? Porque era algo que necesitábamos.
Entonces ya está en sus manos para mantener el proyecto, para que tengan agua en 10 años, en 20 años, hasta 30 años con este proyecto.
Okay. it's water and water projects is what we do, but the fun part is giving away toys. We get little cars from the Tiny Tim Foundation. They're wooden cars that virtually last forever. We get bracelets that wives, friends, young women's groups make. We hand those out virtually everywhere we go.
The little girls absolutely love those and fight them. Well, not just the little girls, the moms, grandmas, and everybody. And so that's always special for me because you're handing out things that friends have made and given up time to be able to come give to me to hand out to these kids.
From our business, we're able to get lots of sample and seconds hats that we give away. We take candy everywhere we go.
To see their smiles and to have fun with them and throw candy with them and balls, or show them pictures of your phone just to see their happiness and how easy it is to see different things in newness is so fun.
So their hugs, their smiles, their bright eyes, their enthusiasm is very rewarding and fulfilling to my soul, and to go down there and be with them.
Though our projects are done on a macro basis, we've also become friends on a micro basis with many people individually. And it's fun to be able to bring down a specific book for a specific girl in a specific community, knowing that she'll love it. And so we get to know people individually and then villages as a whole. And for us, that's the funnest part.
You know, I really wanted to thank Dave and his organization for the opportunity that he gave us to come down and experience what a wonderful, a really great opportunity to see real change in the world.
To allow other people to see that as well and hopefully see some of the vision that Dave does is neat.
Yeah, Amigos of Honduras is Dave.
He made a promise to himself that someday, when the timing was right, and that he could put something together, that he was coming back to make a difference. And to have that in your heart for 40 years, and then truly keep your word, those people are very blessed because of Dave and where his heart's at.
And I think it's really brought us closer together as a father and son, and it's been something I wouldn't trade for the world, this experience that we've joined together.
Just really happy that I came.
We always say we don't affect a lot of people in Honduras. There's millions of people there, and there's so many people that need help, but we are having a major impact on the people that we touch. Those people have been affected positively because of Dave.
I think what you see with Dave Riley is that a lot of the reason that the charity can run so efficiently is because Dave does so much work that he volunteers of his own time and his staff time and his other company resources. There's just a lot of extra that goes on with Dave, but it's not Dave taking from the charity, it's just Dave continuing to add more to it and more to the people of Honduras.
I look up to individuals, I look up to Dave that way, as he's putting himself aside all the time.
I'm thankful for Dave and Amigos of Honduras to give us this opportunity.
Awesome. Same goes for me.